Welcome back to the MMCast, Masters of Modern podcast. I am your host, Alex Xander Wiley Kessler, here with my co-host, Ben. I don't know his middle name, Bateman.
Nice.
I'm guessing it's David.
No, it's a good guess, but it's incorrect.
Okay.
So we're going to miss on that one. It's good to see you guys, even though you are the eye of the camera. It's good to see you guys, even though you are the eye of the camera, and it is good to be heard by you guys. I'm excited to be here with Alex to talk about a topic that actually, I know what it is, but I asked Alex ahead of time how much I should know, and he asked me, how much do you want to know? Or do you want to have to do this and figure out the answers to these questions without any premeditated thought? And I decided it would be much more fun to do that. So Alex is going to queue up what we're doing on this episode in just a moment. We do want to take a quick second to thank all of the nobles of House Modern, as well as the rest of the supporters of our Patreon. That's patreon.com/theMMCast, pinkies up. And of course, we are brought to you guys by TCG Player. You guys can use our checkout code at TCG Player to, it's very helpful for us, honestly. If you want to buy any Magic cards, we're going to talk about cards today on the show. If you want to buy one of them, go and buy it using our affiliate code. It is a very helpful thing to support the show. So thank you guys for doing that. And Alex, what are we talking about tonight?
It's a Walker Fight. Walker Fight 2021, baby.
Walking Dead is so out, bro.
It's Walker. Like Planeswalker.
Okay.
Like when someone has a basic land in front of you and you have a creature with this ability, they can't be blocked.
Okay, got it.
If it's a planes. So there's, I think, 3 cards total that have planeswalk. No, this is a Walker Fight. So basically, we're
gonna rank the best land walk cards ever.
Yes, yeah, we're gonna walk every creature that has a walk, like land walk. We're going to put them all on a list and we're gonna battle them. No, this is an idea I stole from the Weekly Planet podcast. Also, Mr. Sunday Movies on YouTube. Definitely check them out. They're one of my favorites. But they do have a series where they like have user submitted fictional comic book characters, and then they decide who would win in a fight, and they drop them into a football field. I imagine they're talking about soccer. We're talking about American football. It doesn't really matter. They drop each character with whatever powers that would normally have when they planeswalk into both ends of a football field, and they have to fight to the death. And we are going to decide who wins or loses. And we're letting the populace decide beyond just this. So we've already gone through on Twitter. The way this is actually being decided is I put all these things together on Twitch during our normal Monday night stream this week because it was a holiday. I just hung out. I opened up a box of Flesh and Blood. I opened up a $400 card, which is really dope.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely really sick. So I'll be making that type of content at some point in the future. The other thing we did is we went in and gave points, and the points were based off of, and I have to bring up the thing. The points were based off of a planeswalker's ability in 1v1 combat. So, like, can I fight you 1v1 and win? It's a destructive force capabilities. So basically, like, can it destroy a house, a village, a city, a continent, a planet, a plane, right? Like all the way up to universe, right? Like what are the destructive force? And then cheat code, which is like, do they have a power that cheats? And Minotaur is a good version of that, where she can literally warp reality.
We're talking purely the power level of the character.
Correct.
This is not about the level they are, like an ultimate versus like a minus. Like, we're not talking any of that.
No. This is all just, I'm dropping Nicol Bolas and Dak Faden into a soccer field or a football field on either side, and they have to try killing each other. And who do we think would win? And then they move on. Now that they are all seated, that created the seating on live on Twitch. We do a Monday night stream every Monday. Normally it's Commander, but this time it was Walker Fight 2021 hashtag. And then now I've brought that list into a little tournament organizer. You'll hopefully right now on screen, you're seeing the 4 different brackets where 64 planeswalkers are going to fight each other. And Twitter has already started voting on this. At this point today, we've already gone through half. This started on Tuesday, then or Monday, then Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. Today we have 2 additional ones being voted on right now. So we have all of the first and second bracket locked in. And at this point, we probably are pretty sure what the third and fourth bracket is going to be. So me and Ben are going to discuss each matchup, say what we're going to think, and then I'm going to tell everyone in this who won the first round, setting up what will be going on over the next 2 weeks on Twitter. It'll be on my Twitter, twitter.com/KessWiley, and you can vote every single day on the next round of who's winning in Walker Fight. Now, Ben, of all of the Planeswalkers,
yes,
what, just off the top of your head, what are your top? Who are your top 4?
Just in sheer power.
Like if you were to guess, who's our seeds 1, 2, 3, and 4?
Okay, you got to figure Nicol Bolas is pretty high up there. That's a good guess. Wow, who else are like just uber powerful? Is Karn a top 4 powerful?
He just missed it because he loses really badly in the 1v1 slot because he is a pure pacifist.
Okay, that makes sense. He's kind of bulky and he can defend really well, but he's like
top scores in destructive force and cheat codes. But Karn is 17th in the totally scientifically done.
So I was like pretty far off. I would have wasted an early draft pick on him.
He's gonna do well in the voting though, because this is just seeding, not voting. I think right now in voting in his fight, he is doing very well.
Okay. What about beefiest, burliest Walker? Teferi maybe? Master of Time?
Yep, he is in the top 3.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? You got a lot of good manipulation of...
He's number 3, I guess, yeah. I mean, you're asking for the top 4. So you have Teferi and Nicol Bolas.
But like pure, just sheer power? I mean, is it like... I don't know if I can think of like who else would be in the. Oh wait, like who takes on like Emrakul and stuff, like people who like wreck shop there. No, because there's no way Jace is that powerful. I mean, the cards are good, but Jace is just a little dinky sorcerer. Like Teferi is way more powerful than Jace, and like Liliana, Gideon.
Missing 2. One of them's really obvious based off of one of the answers you've said so far. And the other one is really obvious based on one of the hints you gave yourself so far, actually. Of the top 4, you've said the reason one of them is on there, and then the other one's really obvious based on the other one you've said.
Jace is one of the 4?
No.
Oh, damn it.
Jace is currently seated at number 22. He's got real bad destructive force.
I didn't use my brain there. I knew Jace wasn't part of the deal, but why is my mother FaceTiming me? I just ignored a call from her. Now she's FaceTiming me.
We can pause if you need to.
No, I'll just FaceTime answer her while we're recording. This will be good for the podcast.
Well, what if there's like a life number?
Mom, hi. I'm just recording a podcast. Can I maybe perhaps call you after? We're not live. Bye. Okay, love you.
I was hoping you'd ask her what the best Planeswalker.
I thought about it, but I didn't want to embarrass her or scare her, and both things could have happened.
Fair. All right, you're missing 2.
Okay, so imprison, like somebody who imprisons Emrakul on the moon or something like that. Like, who the hell are those Planeswalkers? No, because he dies.
That was the trivia question for last week, but it is not. It is like a team effort.
Not Nissa, yeah. Is it? I mean, is Liliana because she can raise the dead?
It's Liliana. Liliana is number 4. So she single-handedly just takes on Emrakul like one-on-one and does not lose. The Chain Veil also powers her up a lot. Also takes on Nicol Bolas. Like she is single-handedly fought. Single-handedly is debatable, Nicol Bolas, but like one-on-one fought the big bad of 2 of the main 3 big bads in Magic.
Oh, is number 4 Ugin?
Number 2 is Ugin, yes.
Nice. Yeah, there you go. I knew I was forgetting a giant Planeswalker.
Yep. The opposite of Nicol Bolas, also one. So those are the top 4. Oh, big rule: all old walkers have been powered down by the mending. So like before Time Spiral Block, Planeswalkers like couldn't be printed on cards because basically they were like not even gods. They were like reality warping super beings. Now they're like at the current power level. So Jeska, if she was like teleported to modern day times, a Minotaur at number 7, Nissa is number 8. So Nissa is up there. And then
how's Nissa that powerful?
On Zendikar, Nissa single-handedly like fought the Eldrazi Titan. She's very powerful on Zendikar. It is debatable where the soccer field is. So that's a debate. But she also like resurrected Vitu-Ghazi, right, on on Ravnica.
Okay.
Remember that card that like target land becomes a 30, 20, 20 or 13, 13,
oh, sure,
whatever.
Right.
That's her turning the like home of the Selesnya into a giant monster. And then Nahiri and Sorin.
Oh, okay. Nahiri's pretty powerful. I thought about Nahiri, the Harbinger.
Yeah.
Sorin. I don't think Sorin's that powerful. He's just like a vampire who makes bats and stuff.
He like created Avacyn and then killed her.
Yeah, I definitely knew that.
It's Anguished Unmaking. It's like a big card.
I'll tell you what Anguished Unmaking is. It's destroy target non-land permanent, lose 3 life. For black, white, 1, it's an instant. That's what Anguished Unmaking is.
Is it not exile? Is it destroy?
It can't be. I think it's destroy. Well, it's non-land though. It could be exile.
Who knows? The card that's probably shown up right here. So yeah, so that is Walker Fight. There's a bunch of battles. We're going to go through all of them. We'll go through as many as we can. We'll do some quickly. There's going to be some that are just like, yes, obviously this ends in destruction. And then I'll tell you how the people have voted, because that is what really matters in a fight. It's not how actually powerful you are based on the plot. It's how much people like you. Before we get into that, we are going to do our friendly game of farming for likes called Trivia. So I'm going to ask all of you a trivia question and Ben a trivia question. And the way this works is you're making a bet. You're betting your like. If you guess the thing incorrectly, so I'm going to ask a trivia question. If you get it wrong, you're going to comment your answer below. Then hopefully that takes you enough time to give Ben enough time to guess. Then you come back up, and then when I tell you the answer, if you got it right, congratulations. If you want to like, we appreciate it. But if you got it wrong, you have to hit that like button, and you have to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. So definitely try your hardest. You don't want to have to hit that like button. We would appreciate it either way. But let's get to that trivia question.
I'm locked in, baby.
What is the only creature with no creature type line?
Only creature with no creature type line. This is a trick question of some kind.
It's not. It's just creature and then nothing. No merfolk, no vampire, no illusion.
Give me a clue, maybe?
I can give you... I think if I give you the 4, you'll get it. I have a multiple choice. Would you like to use your multiple choice option, Ben?
Please, I would love to.
All right. A Mistform Ultimus, Experiment Kraj, Nameless Race, or True Name Nemesis.
Well, True Name's a merfolk. Mistform Ultimus is all creature types, so that makes sort of sense. I thought that was like a shapeshifter, maybe. Experiment Kraj is like a mutant, I thought. I was pretty sure. And then who was the last one?
Nameless Race.
Let's go Nameless Race.
That is correct.
Nice.
I'm gonna give you half points, and I'm gonna expect everyone that had to wait until I gave multiple choice to hit that like button, regardless. Yeah. Also,
poor showing on my part. I mean, I'm proud of working through the multiple choice options, but
it's cool because the art is literally Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yeah. So that's the only creature in all Magic without a creature type. All right, let's get into Magic Fight. Do you want to start where do you want to start? Bottom or top? It doesn't. It's all randomly organized because it's seeded correctly. But where do you want to start? Do you want to just start with the number one seed?
Let's just start with the number 1 seed. Let's rock it.
All right. Number 1 seed is Nicol Bolas. Was paired against the Unluckiest. For those who don't know, the Unluckiest is the only card in this entire contest that doesn't have a Planeswalker actual card. They were famously seen in that series of curses, including that one red treasure curse that I'm forgetting the name of, where...
Yeah, the Curse of Opulence, the one where you get...
Yes, Curse of Opulence, where they're the guy with like the pompadour haircut.
Yeah.
He's a Planeswalker. He's shown in 8 cards, I think, at this point, and all of them are him just in a terrible situation. He's only referred to as the Unluckiest. He finds himself in terrible situations against his will. He's cursed, and that situation has led to him be 1v1 in the first round against Nicol Bolas in the soccer field and trying to get killed.
So probably I feel like he just, if I was going to guess how this went, like Nicol Bolas would slowly but surely sort of waddle towards him.
Waddle.
He'd be sitting there. He'd be standing there probably with like a soccer ball. That's what I'm assuming. He'd probably be doing tricks. Like he's probably pretty good, actually, would be my guess. He's dribbling maybe, or he's doing that thing where he's kicking it around. And then I think he goes for one really good high kick, kicks it way up in the air, and he looks up. And as Nicol Bolas in slow-mo waddles towards him, gold is falling from the sky because of the curse of opulence. And then before the ball can even, Bolas swipes him, and all that's left is the hat. It's just a pile of gold in the hat. And I think Bolas just devours. I think he just devours him.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Bolas eats people, but I think that's how this goes.
So I will say the unluckiest ability to like not die but find himself in terrible situations, I think got him more points. He is doing better against Nicol Bolas than any of the other top 4 seeds against their opponents, which are the bottom 4 seeds, which we'll get to later.
Let me ask you this question.
I do think he doesn't die. I think he loses. I think Nicol Bolas just like destroys him, but like some weird circumstance happens where he like gets launched into like a black hole and just teleported to a different world. Like I don't think
you don't see a world in which he's Loki with Grandmaster and he starts working for him. He convinces Bolas to let him like Loki.
Yeah, I think I think like there's another variant or something out there, right? Yes.
Okay,
I think he like Loki's his way through this experience. So this one has happened already. The unluckiest lost against Nicol Bolas, 81% to 19%.
That seems about right.
All right, next, and so this is bracket 1. If you search the hashtag bracket 1 alongside hashtag Walker Fight 2021, you'll find this one. Bracket 1, I didn't realize that bracket 1 was going to be a used hashtag. So moving forward, I used bracket 1 WF for other things. So that'll pick it up later. Next is Tamiyo versus Garruk Wildspeaker.
Oh.
This one I think is a bad draw for one of our opponents. But what do you think is going to happen?
All right, so we're on the soccer field. We're starting on either side. The first thought is that like Garruk is pretty beastly. I think that Garruk goes for it. I envision Garruk's speed kind of like an aging running back, like really big and burly, probably very powerful quads. I think he moves pretty fast for his size. But the problem is that like Tamiyo just is going to just like literally just like, I mean, even if you just go with the card ability, like just because I don't even know what Tamiyo does all that well, but like Tamiyo tapping things down so they don't untap is such a bad draw for Garruk anyway. Like it just feels like Garruk's going to be running. Tamiyo's going to glue down a foot. You're going to get a torn ACL by Garruk. He's going to try to get up, but it's just not going to move as fast. I just can't see a world in which Garruk connects with the axe, you know? I just don't think it happens.
The pairing is 32-33. So Tamiyo was seated at 32. Garruk was seated at 33. So I think actually I kind of disagree. I think Tamiyo beats most people on this list, honestly. I think she doesn't beat Garruk.
How does okay, here's the deal. Close quarters, no question, Garruk wrecks. Done and done. Like
because she has while she's tapping down Garruk's just making wolf tokens or beast tokens on the side, right? So he's like,
that's fair point.
If you want to go with like Tamiyo's precision move stopping ability, Garruk's got an army and like overruns them and she's dead. If she's trying to like deal with that problem, Garruk just cuts her in half. Like Garruk is the planeswalker hunter, right? Like he's gonna go for a far run, I think, if Tamiyo doesn't make it through this. So I think it's like it's partially his ability to go wide that can stop Tamiyo. So Tamiyo's abilities are like scroll magic, and she does have some really powerful ones, like destroying universe scrolls that she swore she would never use. Garruk doesn't have that either, right? He's just like, I'm gonna use everything in my power to murder you. Tamiyo's gonna like be worried about damaging other soccer players that might be in the gym down below.
I could see a world in which Garruk's charging and decides to throw a bunch of wolves. Now the wolves go around Tamiyo, and Tamiyo's like, okay, I'm going to time this just right. So Tamiyo pulls like a straight up, just like ninja move, jumps high in the air, right? And the beasts all go past Tamiyo, but she uses the tap down move to like glue all the beasts to the ground and get a bunch of, and then it's like get some power because like she gets more power the more. But that doesn't stop Garruk's charge with the big axe because she can only focus the precision move on one or the other. I feel like she's not equipped to deal with the beasts, and I forgot about that. So I'll go with you on that one. I don't see if it's close quarters, it's over. Maybe, but she's too delicate compared to the Garrick's pretty powerful with both of the different things.
He's killed like 18 walkers. Like he's killed like a ridiculous amount of planeswalkers already. So Garrick does win this one, 66-34. Getting to the next round. So the next battle is Nicol Bolas versus Garrick, which I am fascinated to see what happens. All right, next we got Sarkhan Vol at 17. So dragon magic, can turn himself into a dragon, has also time powers of some variety from time traveling, versus Vivian Reed at 48. Shoots arrows that turn into animals.
So this is not Sarkhan the Mad, but it is the same Sarkhan.
All Sarkhans are the same. Remember, it's their collective characters. It's the most powerful. This is the one that went back in time, saved Ugin, came back, currently, I believe, dating Narset.
Sarkhan Unbroken. Yep. I mean, Sarkhan's pretty powerful. Like Sarkhan, I mean, I totally get Vivian shooting arrows that turn into animals, and maybe there's a world in which Sarkhan's focusing too much energy on trying to either turn himself into a dragon, make additional dragons, like harness his, like, you know, hurt himself to harness more, like, because, you know, he has the thing where he can,
So Vivian could defeat Vivian, the Pokemon trainer who shoots arrows that turn into animals, could defeat Sarkhan as he goes through his magical girl anime, like armor up, power up moment. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
like in Sailor Moon, where they like twirl and they turn a color and he becomes a dragon. And if she, like, you know, does the joke that everyone made in the 90s, like, oh, can't you just like punch him while he's transforming? So you think maybe that's Vivian's chance, like get him while he's trying to become a dragon?
Here's my thought, though. So Vivian shoots an arrow, right? Let's say the arrow turns into a wolf. Okay. Let's say the wolf is in midair flying at Sarkhan. Okay. It's just a wolf. So Sarkhan just, like, have you seen Sarkhan Unbroken? Dude's jacked. Throws one arm, knocks the wolf out of the way, turns into a dragon, eats the wolf, burns Vivian to death. Probably could even just dragon up and, like, burn the arrow midair before it even turns into something other than wood. Like, mid-air arrow, half wolf, half wood, just like torch it. Sounds like gruesome. I think Sarkhan is wrecking Vivian. I don't see a world in which Vivian's getting around this.
So a little closer. I mean, 17 versus 48, 60-40 goes to Sarkhan. Next one, Karn versus Huatli. So Karn, who is a legacy weapon, versus Huatli, who has the ability to summon dinosaurs, I believe, fighting each other. Who do you think wins here? Dinosaur Sun Warrior versus the God of Machines on Phyrexian at one point.
There's a level to, like, some of these answers that I think is going to come down to, did this character ever make a significant impression on me in any capacity? Like, was there ever, like, did I ever have any attachment? Like, do I care at all? And the answer on Huatli is no. So I feel like Karn is iconic and incredibly powerful. Like, Karn just exiles things. Karn literally has the ability to exile target permanent. Like, Karn can look at Huatli and cease Huatli to exist.
Yeah, I think Karn has the ability just to also, like, summon robots to fight the dinosaurs that Huatli is like Karn can match Huatli on every summon he wants to. He's just like, here's some artifact constructs, fight the dinosaur robot friends, and then, like, so then it's Karn who exiles things and restarts the universe versus Huatli who makes her dinosaurs more stronger. I agree. I think this is going to Karn.
Huatli's like, look, I got these dinosaurs I can summon. And Karn's like, all +4 and exile one of your options. Like, I'm more powerful and bigger, and you have less things to offer. Let's start over.
Plus, he could just, like, out of thin air summon the exact artifact from history needed to defeat an army of dinosaurs. It's like a Meek Stone. I only found one. Just don't worry about it. So Karn wins 83-17. Next one is Sorin versus Tyvar Kell. Tyvar Kell, for those who don't know, like Ben, is the elf planeswalker that has, like, the personality of Thor from the MCU, but is like an elf prince on Kaldheim.
Looking it up just to see if I can remember who this is. Oh, sure. Real handsome, good chest, nice biceps.
Yeah. Like enjoys a hearty beer after a battle against the dark elves and the dwarves. And yeah.
I mean, it actually doesn't feel that unevenly matched. They're both super handsome and pale. So I do wonder.
It's The Witcher, but with, like, life draining superpowers versus Thor, in the first Thor movie when he doesn't have any powers.
Is Soren confirmed into women, or is Soren into men in the story? I can't quite remember.
I don't believe it is confirmed in either direction, though he is one of two options to be getting married.
Married to, right. I knew that. So because both of these guys are super duper handsome, so there is a world, if we don't know, in which I could see them actually like maybe not wanting to fight. They meet each other on the battlefield and they're like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. They both kind of look like they're that guy in their own respective world. But I think probably Soren wins this fight. I don't really see any way.
From what I know of either of them, they both summon things, right? One will make some elves, one will make some vampires. I think vampires win. I think it's going to go to Soren, and it did pretty thoroughly, 91-9. I do think
what happens if Tyvar? Okay, so if Tyvar's elves like hit Soren's vampires,
they just become vampires.
Slice them. Good for you. But if any of his vampires bite the elves, then Soren just gets more super handsome vampires.
Correct.
Right?
Seeing Soren in the more recent the splash art for the next set where he's looking real good. I think just even on a handsome off, Soren's winning this.
And he makes all of his elves probably become exponentially more handsome as they become vampires.
Correct.
So that's a lot for Tyvar Kell to deal with.
All right. Next is and Soren won 91-9.
I think Tyvar offers up his neck to Soren and wants to become a vampire, and then I think he just joins the ranks of the super handsome vamps, and I think that's what happens.
Okay. Ren and Tree number whatever versus Angrath. Big
Minotaur fire dude versus
so to give you, Ren is a dryad that can has the ability to weld herself into trees, turning them into tree folk that she can then planeswalk with. Angrath is a pirate Minotaur chain wielding version of Dominic Toretto. Doing everything he does everything to try to get back to his family. It's all about family. He steals things. He has a crew of people that follow him.
He lives a quarter something at a time. I can't think of a good joke.
He probably beat up some person who got his dad thrown in jail or killed with a chain at some point. Definitely, maybe might end up in space.
Here's my thought. I think Angrath's pretty fire whip centric, and
Ren does have fire powers, right? Ren has fire powers. That is, she's able to do what she does because she's welded herself with a magic fire. You don't know this. We all just learned this a week ago.
Yeah, but she may have fire powers, but so does he, and she's made of wood largely. I feel like that's not a good. I feel like that's not a good matchup. I can imagine the whip wrapping around a tree and just being brutal.
Yep.
Imagine just kind of a dry. But I guess it's a football field. Yeah, I think I go Angrath on this one probably, but I don't know. Ren in 6, we've seen what happens to Groot, right? We've seen a powerful tree.
Yeah.
So, and Groot doesn't really get screwed with in the same way that a tree would get screwed with. He kind of wrecks people. So maybe you go Ren here. I'd rather see Ren win. I think Angrath's kind of a D-bag. I think I'd rather see Ren go on.
So Ren was seated at 24, and Angrath was seated at 41, and Angrath won by 6 points. It was 53-47.
Wow.
Barely one of the closest matches. Not the closest, because that's the next one. And that is Dakon Blackblade, recently featured in Modern Horizons 2, depowered to current Walker status, versus the Wanderer, who has only been seen in random card art and in War of the Spark.
The Wanderer, white, that's the white one, right? With the sweet,
with the whip. Everyone was theorizing that they're Emrakul for a hot second at one point. No one knows anything about her. Just a wandering planeswalker.
So that's the Wanderer versus who again?
Dakon Blackblade.
Who's equal to your lands you control, and he's got a big sword.
Yeah, he's got the big sword. He's from old Magic. Yeah,
he's from Legends.
His son is the card you that has grandeur or whatever.
Yes. Korlash, heir to Blackblade.
Yes. Or Ancestor.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Partially because I don't know anything about either of these characters.
I feel like Dakon is like a big, like, kind of classic legendary Viking sort of type with a big sweet sword and, kind of just like your classic character in a fantasy story. Whereas I feel like the Wanderer is like really good at like exiling people and like cutting your legs out from under you. It just is the type of thing where I guess it feels a little bit like Garruk versus Tamiyo. But I just don't have any reason to believe that Dakon is powerful enough to stop like a mystical I exile you and take away your aggression type of character. That strikes me as a perfect matchup for the Wanderer.
So the Wanderer wins. It's 51-49 though, literally down the middle.
Very close.
I think the challenge for Dakon here was like, what is his power set when he's not an Old Walker, right? Like in the Old Walker status, he's able to do a lot of crazy stuff, but New Walker, he might just be big.
Yeah.
And the Wanderer could be Emrakul. We don't know. Could be a boat. Next run. This will be the 8th seed versus the 57th. Nahiri versus Estrid. Estrid is the Bant mask planeswalker that can be your commander from the second commander product that let you have planeswalkers be your commander.
Oh, sure. And who did you say Nahiri though?
Nahiri is the other one.
This is a done deal. This is like magical Taylor Swift power. I think Nahiri is going to go high for me. I have a lot of faith. in Nahiri. Nahiri's ability to like summon equipment and like do wild stuff with that is really strong. Nahiri's ability to make soldiers and then throw the giant pieces of equipment at the soldiers is really strong. Nahiri's ability to just like summon a giant monster for a sneak attack is really strong. I mean, in my world, Nahiri is just like, hey, Emrakul. Like, that's a thing that happens. I don't know if we agree that could actually happen in a situation, but I mean, Estrid's like, hey, I'm masked and powerful. And then Nahiri's like, I have Emrakul. What are you going to do now? To me, that's going to be a tough thing for anybody to beat.
Like Nahiri was able to just summon Emrakul to Innistrad, other than the fact that Avacyn was there. And so came up with a whole plot where she made the Angels go insane to the extent that Sorin had to kill Avacyn, which allowed Emrakul to show up because she just could make Emrakul show up. And she has the ability to just like, summon kind of like Karn, right? It just has to be an equipment, but just like any tool that she needs to be able to defeat this person. And this person's cool. Like Estrid has enchantments and she has masks so she can transform into stuff. I just don't. Yeah, I agree. I think Nahiri has just like, and Nahiri has a little bit of the Garruk thing too, right? Like it once it becomes a 1v1 battle, I don't like, there's only like 4 planeswalkers I think on this list that can take on Nahiri.
Well, the one thing is that spiritually, if we're talking about what happens, like, I don't know if this is actually Nahiri's powers, but if we're spiritually talking about you summon something powerful from the mist, it comes and does its thing, but then when it's done, it doesn't stay out there and it doesn't go back in the mist.
No, Nahiri forms it out of stone. She can create any equipment ever out of the stone around her.
Let's just, if I summon Emrakul from my deck, which means that like I have summoned Emrakul from somewhere that is not in my hand, goes and attacks. But then now Emrakul doesn't go back in the deck. It goes in my hand. In my mind, that means that Nahiri now has to deal with Emrakul. Now, like, whatever thing that she has summoned is alive, and she has to, like, have with her to figure out how to wield. And, like, that's pretty dangerous. So I could see a world in which somebody dodges the bullet, and then Nahiri gets eaten alive by, some huge beast.
Sure. But, yeah, but I think she doesn't have to summon Emrakul. Like, there are fights she might end up with later. For instance, she's aiming to fight Sorin in a few rounds, depending on how Sorin does against Ingrath.
Wait, how many of these matchups are we doing tonight?
We're on clock. I've been keeping track of the time.
Okay.
But we should get quickly. Nahiri definitely wins this one. And it's not close. It is 89-11. Next is and that is the end. So that is the end of bracket 1. Next, we're on to bracket 2. So the beginning of bracket 2 is Liliana Vess, the 4th seed, versus Jian Yanggu, the 61st seed.
I don't even know who that is. But
he summons Mowu. He has the unique power of being able to take his puppy companion with him to other planes.
Yeah, okay. I remember the one you're talking about. I feel like, in this situation, I just imagine they're standing on opposite sides of the field. He does something cool, and Liliana just like waves her hand, then a zombie comes out and bites his ankle, and he's like, no! And then that's it.
Yeah. I like we're going to talk about good matchup, like unlucky matchups. I think this is an unlucky matchup as well, because like Liliana is not going to like, I think Jiang Yungu's like chance of having his puppy and ending up like fighting against someone who was like, aw, puppy, like could have gotten him some points. Liliana's not that person. I'm going to describe what I think would have happened. So Liliana and Jiang Yungu show up. Yungu is like, oh, I got this. This is just a lady. Here's my trusted companion, Mowu, the best boy. And Liliana's like, here's 30 zombies. They eat you. And he's like, oh no, my powers don't stop infinite zombies from murdering me. All right. Next round. So Liliana beat them by 97-3. I believe it is the most thorough victory so far. Next is Elspeth Terrell versus Tybalt. 29 versus 36.
I mean, this seems like a pretty... Really? 29-36, huh? I mean, Elspeth seems really powerful, and she got like jump dudes, she got a sword.
She doesn't have high scores and cheat codes. She's a very good martial combatant, but not the best, and she has no world destroying capabilities, right? Like
Tybalt's like all chaotic, and like I draw things and discard them, and I'm all chaotic with my fire, and like he just seems like a dunce. I feel like she just takes him out. Like I don't think there's... I don't know. That did you really think Tybalt beats Elspeth?
No, I didn't choose. He's the 36th seed. He lost 12-88 because we have time that we have to get through. I think Tybalt has some tricky moments available to him, but Elspeth has already also gone up against Ashiok, who I think is just better at that than Tybalt. And so like Tybalt has the ability to do the Loki thing, right? Where if you don't expect Tybalt will mess with you. But in this situation where Elspeth's on a football field, knowing she has to kill whatever's across from her, it doesn't matter if Tybalt's someone else. And like friendship doesn't matter here, right? Jace is going to kill Chandra. If like he turns into Elspeth's best friend, Elspeth is still just going to be like, well, this is a fictional game where I have to murder you, and then does it. Next is Chandra Nalaar versus Rowan and Will Kenrith. So this is one of the tricky ones. She's got to fight two planeswalkers. Rowan has spark magic, so she's kind of the Jubilee of Magic the Gathering, and Will has ice powers. So it's Jubilee, Iceman, Bobby Drake fighting against Chandra, who is she blasts things. She
Living
goes
Inferno.
Living Inferno.
Well, there is the interesting part of the ice powers versus the fire. But I think that ice doesn't stop fire. Water does. So like if you have ice powers, that's one thing. But I mean fire is going to melt ice pretty quickly, in fact. So I feel like in that matchup, Chandra for sure has the goods. Spark magic, Jubilee. But here's the thing. Let's say Chandra pulls the like Chandra Ablaze move and just like roasts the whole battlefield, and Jubilee's like dook, 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 and then like reappears still roasted. Yeah, and ice powers might get you like high above. You can like climb on but then it just melts. And Chandra has no shortage of fire. Yeah, I don't think that there's really a world in which Chandra doesn't win this. I just think Chandra has an endless amount of fire.
Yeah, I think there's a chance that they have, and the voting did too. This was actually a much closer matchup. I think Will's ability to like Goku blast or like Harry Potter Voldemort blast, where they're like both blasting at each other, and it's like a push and pull moment against Chandra for a hot second, that maybe gives Rowan the chance to like sneak attack and like try and stab Chandra from behind, right? Like because there's two of them, you have to deal with both. Might give them a chance, but I think Chandra just like hears the sparks and just is like, oh yeah, fireball everywhere, and then just blasts both of them. I agree. And Chandra beats Rowan and Will 53-47. Next we have Catfight. This bracket specifically had some of my favorite matchups. In the Catfight, we have Lord Windgrace versus Ajani. I know that I lose because I'm allergic to this situation by a great deal.
Lots of cats?
Lots of cats.
I feel like Ajani, as much as I like Ajani here, and I want Ajani to pull through with the like Obi-Wan Kenobi vibe, and seasoned Ajani too, like older Ajani has a lot of grit. I feel like Lord Windgrace is just a more powerful cat. Like I just think that there's more...
Like Panther versus Lion. I think that Lord Windgrace is just like a cooler Ajani. Like Ajani is the modern day version of Lord Windgrace. They're very similar. I think Lord Windgrace doesn't pull his punches as hard. I think Ajani like will pull his punches a little too, like he's gonna get got by being a little too good of a guy.
I think Lord Windgrace is the equivalent of what the hell is his name? This is a trivia question I'm forgetting. It's basically Armie Hammer's character in Cars 3 versus I think Ajani is just Lightning McQueen.
I don't even know.
And I think so it's just the thing where it's like, Ajani wants to keep pace with Lord Windgrace, but he has to realize that he's just fighting a different fight. He's not as cold-blooded. He doesn't want to win quite as much. He has to just accept that he's aged into a different role, and I think he's going to get gutted.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry, Johnny. Lord Windgrace did win 54-46, but it was very close. Next is Kiora versus Dominaid. 12th seed versus the 53rd seed. Kiora has a bident from a god that she stole. She actually, as much as Dak Vaden talks crap, might be the greatest thief in the multiverse, having now stolen from gods. Dominaid is a really angry man with pig friends.
Yeah, Domri's like, he can fight and he can come up with some he's like a forest, an angry forest dweller.
He's a punk rock kid. Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna be like, go forth, pig, and then I feel like Kiora's gonna be like, hey, octopus, crush those pigs.
Yeah, like release the Kraken. Kraken release.
I think the crashing wave, the power of water. I think this is not a fair fight at all for Domri.
I think like
Domri
a big
gets literally washed off the soccer field.
Yep. I think big tentacle just like falls down and like squishes him. It's like, oh, thanks. Yep. Bye, Domri. Kiora won 84-16. That was pretty handily. She's in the top 12. Jace Beleren versus Mu Yanling. She was the other one from the other Planeswalker card printed alongside Jiang Yangu for that like Chinese exclusive dual deck situation, and then she was in M11 or not M11, M21.
Oh yeah, is she the one that makes the 4/4? She makes the 4/4.
Yes. She controls water elementals and like has like one of her signature spells is like an upheaval for non-land permanents.
Yeah, I mean, she feels like she's a nice utilitarian planeswalker, but I don't think she has that much more play than Jace. Like, I feel like Jace is able to out-sorcerer her pretty handily.
Yeah, I think you need to be able to defend against Mind Erasure.
Yeah.
To beat Jace. And also, like, she's not like Kiora, where she's like, here's a tidal wave. She's just like, she's a waterbender, basically, right? I think Jace with illusions can defend against that to an extent, and then just get close enough to be like, you don't remember who you are, and you no longer can think. I've stopped your brain. So yeah, Jace wins 75-25 in that battle. Next, we have a really interesting one. I thought it would go the other way, so I'll be quiet. But Ashiok versus Nico Eris. They both
Nico Eris is the blue-white one from the recent set.
Yeah, they are a hero who Heliod was like, you're gonna do this thing, and they were like, nope, and just like effed off, and that caused their spark because they decided that they would like break the fate decided upon them by the gods.
Shards, right? So the shard tokens.
And they shoot like mirror shard or glass shard fragments, and then can teleport themselves and other people's souls within them. And then Ashiok. Ashiok's power suite. They're a nightmare bender. They like turn people's dreams against themselves and
I think I go Ashiok here. I think so. It feels like Nico Eris is doing clever, cool stuff, but I also feel like Ashiok is more like mystical and conniving and unpredictable and can just like erase a lot. Like I don't know if Nico is strong enough mentally to withstand like a living nightmare.
I feel like to me, Nico actually is one of the characters that could trump card Ashiok because they have the ability to like trap souls. Nico just has to shoot one of their like glass shards at at Ashiok, and even if Ashiok then like nightmare terrors Nico, that shard is still going to hit Ashiok, absorbing their like soul and like trapping them into the mirror world. Sadly, the internet disagreed with me, and I think Ashiok has like main bad guy vibes for them as well,
right?
And so 87-13 in favor of Ashiok. All right, next one is Jessica versus Dak Faden. Only issue is that Jessica has been depowered, but she also was Corona the False God and Phage the Untouchable. So just can murder people.
Jessica is like...
In the Planeswalker card form, she's the 3-mana red Planeswalker that can triple damage, right?
Right,
but
that's what I thought.
She's also Phage the Untouchable and Corona the False God. She's like one of the main characters back in that era.
Sure.
The like Kamal era of Magic storytelling, and the main bad guy. Dak Faden from the comic books died off screen or like on screen, but not on card in War of the Spark. Greatest thief in the multiverse. Jessica can triple the damage she does to something and can just stab you to death. And I don't think Dak Faden can do anything about that.
Yeah, I mean, I love Dak Faden. He's a wonderful thief. Does a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of like resourcefulness and stealing of things. But I definitely feel like if you're dealing with somebody who has that level, right, you lose the game. That kind of stuff. Yeah. I don't think that's a fair fight.
Even if you like remove Old Walker stuff, Jessica still has like the martial combativeness skill, right? Like I think Jessica could lose to some of the cheat code people, like someone that could just like Karn, where he could just like erase her from existence harder. But against Dak Faden, who just like is good at stealing stuff, I don't think she's gonna do anything. I don't think she's gonna succeed here. I think Dak could have won if it was against like a Nahiri or Karn, where he could be like, oh, I stole you. You're now my artifact. But Jessica's not that. All right, so that is bracket 2. We are done with bracket 2. Bracket 3, and this one, if you look up hashtag bracket 3 WF, hashtag bracket 3 WF, you'll find this. And all the voting is available here. This one, I don't have any of the votes, so I can look on Twitter and find them, so that they're currently going. This was a week ago, but next is Ugin versus Dovinbon. Dovinbon being the 63rd seed, and Ugin being the 2nd seed.
This is not so different than the original one of Nicol Bolas eating the unlucky one.
Well, it's like the next step down, right?
Yeah. I just feel like Ugin is just going to incinerate like the goalposts and everything else on the battlefield on the and like Dovin is, probably happy as a clam over there, enjoying himself. I like Dovin. He's like, hey, I can create this little force field to delay the blast wave.
You like Dovin's kind of like an asshole.
Oh, is he? I don't know. I mean, the Dovin cards I've played with, I've enjoyed. I like 3-mana Dovin a lot.
He's like an elitist, snobby, like a bureaucrat who likes making rules and locks Chandra in jail and her parents and then is like one of the Nicol. Yeah, he sucks. He is maybe the best at counter magic, which could be problematic, except for Ugin's weapons are all clear. He can't see them. So just that ghost fire is going to erase him. So yeah, he lost 98-2% currently with 100 votes. So definitely one of the worst scores of fights. Next we have Saheeli Rai at 31 versus Narset at 34. This is a close one.
You know that I have a soft spot for Saheeli Rai, so it's hard for me to get behind Narset, but the character Narset is so much more powerful than Saheeli Rai. I mean, Saheeli can definitely get some robots going, and there's a lot of really cool stuff with that, and can get a giant thing and then copy a giant thing, but I don't know. Narset can do a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I feel like Narset's ability to prevent Saheeli Rai from thinking too much because of the anti-card draw clauses, and then just martial arts her. She just is gonna in a fist fight. Saheeli Rai has no chance against Narset. Just most people don't. She's a trained from birth super monk. So Narset is currently winning 85-15 against Saheeli Rai. Next one, this is a harder one. Xanagos at 18 versus Gideon Jura at 47.
Xanagos like a Minotaur, crazy,
Satyr, but yes.
Satyr
becomes a god, but this is not Xanagos the god. This is Xanagos the likes to party really hard and wants to become a god. versus Gideon, who is indestructible. Both from Theros, interestingly enough.
I think I got to go Gideon.
Yeah, I think this is just like, what is Xenagos going to do to Gideon? Like, Xenagos lost to Elsbeth, and I think Gideon versus Elsbeth is a close matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't see a world. I just can't see a world in which. How does an invincible Gideon lose in this situation? Even if Gideon is there and gets swarmed by all of the satyrs. Like, what happened? You know what I mean? Like,
Gideon's been swarmed by like Eldrazi titans and made it through it.
And also Gideon usually is powerful when like there's a bunch of like attacking things. Like that makes Gideon better.
Yeah, like I think Xenagos could beat someone that like was wont to party. Like, I think Xenagos could maybe trick Chandra into getting like too drunk to be able to fight. I don't think he can do that to Gideon. I think Gideon's just like, I have the emotional stability of a character of my type. Sorry, you lose. Yep. And also, like, Gideon is kind of the Hercules stand-in, and Hercules definitely just like wrecks every kind of like Greek mythology creature you throw at him as like a standard trope of 90s television. So Xenagos lost to Gideon 27-72 so far. So could change, but that doubtful. Next is Grist, who is a hive mind of bugs as a planeswalker, versus Arlinn Kord, a werewolf.
Grist. I think the bugs wreck. What's a wolf, werewolf, a person wolf hybrid gonna do against like the living, breathing? I'm just gonna eat the skin off your body of killer bugs.
So I agree with you. I think that like Grist has plane destroying capabilities. We don't know for sure, but like there's more bugs on the planet than there are like humans by weight, right? And like not just by quantity, like there's more ants in the city of Los Angeles than there are humans on the planet. Arlinn Kord does have like, people argued, skin that could maybe defend against the bugs, and I think that's why she actually is winning this battle. 57-42, 43.
Wow, Arlinn gets it over the bugs, huh?
Yep. That's an upset to me. That's one of the bigger upsets
eats
here.
The bugs? I mean, werewolf maybe it just eats the bugs.
It's not Boo. What's the bad guy from the Boogeyman? It's Oogie Boogie.
Oogie Boogie and
versus
stupid movie.
Just wolves. You don't like Nightmare Before Christmas?
That's fine.
That's a hot take.
It's fine. It's just
it is not nearly as whatever to me than other movie opinions you have. All right, next one is Vraska.
What's the song that always in the big song? The opening
it's me. It's magic. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. The opening song or the like He Goes the Christmas Land song?
What's this? What's this?
Yeah,
that's
the
one. Yeah. Stupid movie. All right, keep going.
We're gonna get angry comments about that one. Vraska versus Kasmina. Kasmina is a teacher on Strixhaven. We know through some stuff that I think she's trying to like torture kids. Like she's kind of like evil Professor Xavier, where she's trying to like make planeswalkers ignite their spark in school by torturing them somehow. But that also I don't think is confirmed. And then Vraska, we know very well. Gorgon assassin, if she looks at you, you die.
I think I gotta go Vraska here, and I think the reason is because I know Vraska's got the ability to like wreck shop, like could do like a big, what was the phrase you used? Like world destroying, world ending.
I don't think she world destroy. Yeah, sure. You're close
because she's got the like Vraska's contempt levels of stuff like that. But then she's also got the assassins and like the Gorgon. I just wreck you if I look at you. So like, what's Kasmina gonna do if she's running and then like Vraska's like, go, my little assassins. It's like prick you in the ankle. You're dead. Right.
I think like Vraska is uniquely benefited by the format of this tournament because she
soccer field. It's especially good for Vraska.
Yeah, good at looking at things from across a field. And Kasmina's power suite, we don't really know does anything. And it's not as good as Golgari Queen Assassin who looks at you and you die. Vraska is winning 86-13.
Unsurprising.
Next is Tezzeret versus Davril Kane. Davriel Kane's power suite is also something I'm not super familiar with. I should read the short story by Brandon Sanderson. I highly recommend his work. I haven't read that story. My understanding, based on the arguments in my tweets, is that his power suite is like he can absorb the powers of other planeswalkers he's made deals with, or other characters he's made deals with on the plane. Versus Tezzeret, who is Tezzeret. The format of this I would allow him to have some amount of deals to have made on this plane, but I think it's a hard one.
I just imagine like a world in which Davriel is like sort of there and trying to muster like how's he gonna make a bargain, or like how's he gonna get himself out of this, and Tezzeret throws like a straight Doc Ock tentacle just comes out of the ground and like towards Davriel, and Davriel like dodges a couple times, but then like 12 more of them do and just gets skewered by the Doc Ock tentacles that come from Tezzeret. Tezzeret's so powerful and can just summon so many things. It's a lot like Karn, I think, yeah. And then plus like the Thopters, Tezzeret does so much stuff.
Right. He has a planar portal that can summon Phyrexians maybe, and like can like, Tezzeret's like one of the big bads of Magic. I think
Tezzeret's God mode in this particular game we're playing here. I don't know if it's going to be very easy for many people to beat Tezzeret.
I think others can beat him easily. I don't think Davriel Kane has. Like, I think Garruk or like anyone that could summon an army of things probably beats Tezzeret, right? Like, what is he going to do against a ton of stuff? He makes like Thopters and stuff, but like Davriel Kane's just like doesn't have that level of power suite. He does lose. Tezzeret is currently beating him 72 to 28. Next is Gaia Drone, who's like the tentacle lady who betrays Dakon in the books, apparently. The Grixis one, Planeswalker from Modern Horizons 2, versus Ral Zarek, the Lightning Planeswalker.
I do love me some Ral Zarek. Where do you stand on this one?
I think that squids get destroyed by lightning. You know what happens to a squid that gets struck by lightning?
What?
The same thing as everything else.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nice X-Men 1 quote for you right there.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. I think Ral, lightning, a lot of good lightning, and calamari tastes delicious.
Yep, 37 to 63 in Ral Zarek's favor currently. Doretti, goblin artificer in a wheelchair who is like really good at making artifacts happen, can like destroy things by sacking artifacts, versus Nissa Ravain, the 7th seed in this contest.
Not the biggest Nissa fan. Don't really understand why Nissa's so powerful.
She controls all of the plants on a plane.
I mean, I suppose that's pretty powerful. But how many plants are there on a soccer field?
It's made of grass.
Usually AstroTurf.
Only in women's soccer, actually.
Did we determine which of the fields we're on?
We did. I did say football, or like it's a football field technically. Soccer, football is which I think is also always grass.
So you're going Nissa here. You have a strong indicator here.
Yeah, I don't think Doretti's power suite is distinctly set up to be able to fight a green mage wanting to kill someone.
Yeah, I mean, I like Doretti a lot. I do feel like being in a wheelchair on a soccer field against somebody who has the ability to control that many things around Doretti.
Yeah, like he can't move around. Like the grass is going to wrap onto the wheels, and then she'll like grow a big vine monster that'll just crush him. I think it's.
I mean, Doretti does do some pretty cool stuff. There's some like resurrecting of things and bringing stuff back. So maybe he'll probably get in a good hit. He'll probably bring back at an opportune time, like one really good thing. But Nissa will maybe get, knocked in the mouth. But I feel like it'll be not going to last.
It'll be like she'll like trap his wheelchair with the vines and then like get distracted summoning a big tree monster to murder him. And then in the meantime, he'll have like activated his like spinners on his bike that are also knives that'll cut the vines away, and he'll be like rolling away, and then like we'll look back, and then this will be like, oh, I'll get you, and then like the bomb will explode on the vine, and then he'll be like, aha, and then like just another vine is in front of him and crushes him. So like you think he got away and doesn't make it. I believe that is Nissa Ravain Doretti. That is the end of bracket 3, and we are on to the last bracket for now, our number 3 seed, leading this off against Teo Virata, main character of the War of the Spark novel, young, just came from a desert planet, has the ability to make shields out of light, I think, or crystal shields, just summon them. Maybe 14 versus Teferi once phased out an entire continent from existence.
Yeah, he's going to be a tough beat, Teferi. I feel like his control of time here, this is a slam dunk. It's just, you know.
Yeah, I don't, there's not a lot to say. I just 96%-4% Teferi's winning currently, and I don't think Teo has a chance. Sorry, Agreed. Teo, you're a child. Oh no. All right, we're good. Next is a little bit harder. Ob Nixilis versus Samut. So Samut's powers is ostensibly the Flash. She's the fastest planeswalker.
Right.
Ob Nixilis is a demon planeswalker that creates pain magic, and also once destroyed an entire plane to gain immortality. I think.
You know, what kind of weapons does Samut fight with? Blades?
Blades.
But Ob Nixilis is immortal?
I don't know if that's true. I can't confirm that.
Let's say for the sake of our world that
he's
Samut
very
would
old.
Be armed.
He's demon aged, right?
Samut would be armed with some sort of sweet knife that could like take out Ob Nixilis. I'm going to say Samut wins this one. I'm going to say Samut dashes around, gets real fast, takes out both Achilles, maybe gets him in like the high neck area, kind of like Brad Pitt in Troy when he does that thing where he jumps real high. He gets that dude through right here. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I feel like maybe Samut pulls that move and Ob Nixilis just collapses to the ground. We have a big upset here.
Sorry, I'm tweeting something because currently Samut is beating is losing to Ob Nixilis pretty handily. Ob Nixilis at 78% versus her 21%. But I just quote tweeted saying that we can't let Samut lose. She's so fast. She's the fastest one.
I feel like Samut gets this job done. And
that's what I would hope for.
Ob Nixilis is one of the most generically powerful planeswalkers I can think of.
But he has like sad sack villain problems, right? He always loses. Like every fight he's ever been in, he lost. He lost against Nahiri twice. He loses against the Gatewatch. Just every time he shows up somewhere, he loses. And I feel
he's like a B villain who shows up to test the heroes, but is never supposed to do anything.
Right. He's like there's villains. I think the Riddler is one of them in Batman, where he's lost so many times that it's now more of a joke when he shows up. Like you can't make a story with him that has any weight because you just know he can't win. It feels like that. Next one, Serra versus Venser.
Wow. I mean, that's a pretty evenly matched one, I feel like. So, I mean, Venser does the whole, like, blinking stuff. You know, he's pretty fast. He bounces stuff around.
He's a teleporter. He's got Nightcrawler powers.
But Serra's
she's
powerful in herself, but she also, like, makes lots of angels. She can, like... She can summon like extraordinarily powerful beings that are like.
I think the problem you have here is that Venser can't beat Serra. Sarah's gonna have a hard time eventually she'll eventually beat him. But like Venser teleporting around, Serra makes 5 angels, just like one above her and then 4 around her, guarding her every angle, and is just like, and then has the opportunity to like try blasting Venser with light magic, which is the speed of light, so it does hurt Venser's chances of like really being able to do anything.
I just think Serra having a sword, but then all of her angels having a sword means that like he's going to have to really be acrobatic, and it's just going to get harder and harder for him to focus and do anything. And then I feel like eventually she's just going to take him down.
Yep. I agree. Like she's not going to be able to chase him, but the fact that one of them has to kill the other one, Venser's eventually going to have to make a move. Sarah is super patient. I think, and Serra is winning 82-17, or 82-18.
Like what's Venser going to do? Just like blink his goalposts and put them back.
like the only things like he could teleport, like he teleported his heart into Karn's chest, but I think that's partially because Karn's chest was empty. Like I don't think he can teleport something into a location with stuff, so I don't think he can like teleport items into Sarah's body to kill her.
Would he even be able to kill her ever though? What is his weapon to kill with?
I know he's a book.
He's like seems like kind of a pacifist. I think it's over. I think Sarah gets this one done.
I mean, he survived Phyrexia, right? Like he didn't survive it. He died. Yep. Next is a much closer one. This one's fascinating. Kaya versus Oko.
It's a trickster versus some sort of assassin.
Can you turn a ghost into an elk?
If you're Oko, the answer is yes. And I also think like, think about it like this, right? Kaya, like ghost assassin, doing all kinds of cool stuff. Oko literally laying there eating bananas, like waves his hand, and then the goalpost just becomes an elk if he wants it to. And then he just like, I feel like, and then he swaps
I think Kaya just like murders elks though. Like if Kaya's fighting against elk, easy. She's got like battle axes and was like taking on Vorinclex. I think the question, like, and especially if like Oko doesn't, if she can like Shadow Cat Kitty Pryde into the ground and then just like fly up behind him and just like get him.
Maybe, but literally any item that Kaya tries to do anything with, even like a sword, just turns into an elk and makes Oko more powerful. So like legit, unless you think that like Kaya's that shifty,
well, she can like make things untargetable, right? Like she has the ability to blink stuff, and anything he turns into an elk, she could blink and it comes back as not an elk. Like one of her key abilities is like, right? Blinkage. So like
I'll go with you on the on Kaya shivs Oko while he's being, trying to
like eat a banana. Yeah, just like right in the neck. Yeah. She's currently winning 52 to 50 to 48, but it's very close. It's like it's so we'll see where that ends up. I'm fascinated to see where that ends up. And then who would win in a fight if dropped on a football field? A Minotaur versus Luca. Luca is old, grizzled, like uses animals as weapons, has a trusty fox sidekick, I think. A Minotaur is a child who knew one day she would become a planeswalker, so just activated her spark because she has the ability to control the future.
I feel like a Minotaur gets this one done.
Yeah, I believe a Minotaur has not been used since her original printing because I think they realized they made a character that was maybe too powerful. Currently winning 77 to 22. She was the 6th seed. She's like just below Jessica and then the 4 we mentioned before. Luca, 59, might be 59 years old and is losing. Next is Freyalise, another hard one because of Old Walker powers and not being alive since the Mending, versus Calyx, who was created by the gods as a planeswalker whose job is to hunt down Elsbeth now that she has escaped from the underworld. Freyalise is Nissa, but like less sad and maybe more like get off my lawn.
I don't really know these characters that well. I mean, I kind of know Freyalise, I guess.
Freyalise is like one of the like titans that went with Urza to fight the Phyrexians and like mech suits.
I remember the character loosely. Yeah, I'm not that familiar with these characters on this one. What's your opinion on this one?
I think Freyalise wins. I think she's like, and it's hard because it's hard for me to separate old powers versus what her power suite was. Just like Calyx is lame. I wish Calyx wasn't lame, but he's lame. And so I'm going to say Freyalise wins just from being not as lame as Calyx. And currently she's winning 87 to 12. All right, next one is Tavish Zot, kind of Ob Nixilis in the before times, half dragon, half demon, snake, monster, lizard person, always gonna betray you, just ready to do a betrayal at any moment, versus Basriket, who is a sand mage.
I
think
this is not close to me. Tavish Zot is like the badass like version of Ob Nixilis I would trust to win a fight, and I don't think I would trust what's his face. He's mentioned
Basriket.
2-white-1. Basriket. I don't think I'd trust Basriket to do jack. I think I bet heavy here into cool Ob Nixilis.
Yeah, I think like if I'm picking, like Samut went through the trials on Amonkhet and like won through them and was this big thing to win that and is like the best warrior on the plane and is fighting Ob Nixilis and it's like close. With here, I think it's like, yeah, it's the less cool version of Samut and it's the cooler version of Ob Nixilis. And it's not that Basriket isn't as cool. We just don't have a lot of storyline with him yet. So like maybe in the future I might be wrong. Sand magic. I mean, like on the other hand, like the power suite available to Basriket of like ability to control sand has been seen to be very powerful, both in Spider-Man 3 and The Mummy, versus Tevashstat, who's just like evil mustache twirling dragon villain. I think in the long run, Bazooka could come up here, but I need more story showing what extent he can control his powers. And in the meantime,
I've seen Lawrence of Arabia. The sand is terrifying.
Yeah. It's coarse, rough, and gets everywhere, including into your tentacles, as Tevashstat probably learned. I think Tevashstat wins this one, but then like has sand just like in all of his like gaps throughout the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so it's currently Tevashstat is winning 86-13, and then I believe this is the last one, Ben. And you thought we wouldn't be able to do it in the time you had allotted. We're actually 5 minutes before the number you gave me as the time we had to end, and that is Jaya Ballard versus Koth.
Jaya Ballard versus Koth. I go Koth. because Koth can harness the power of mountains, and in the theory, in my mind, that means Koth can harness the power of probably whatever material the soccer field's built on. And Jaya Ballard's like really good with fire, but Koth doesn't care about that. Koth like doesn't care about fire at all, actually. I feel like he just grabs the bleachers and like just beats Kaya to death.
Like, I feel like Koth is fireproof.
That's what I was thinking too.
Like, I'm pretty sure. So this is one of like the three. There's a few of here that just popularity is beating you, and it sucks because, you know, you would think that the public would be more confirmed in their ability to argue things versus just picking who they like more. But Jaya Ballard is also like a master, right? She's a fire master. She has more control over magic than most other characters on this list, versus Koth, who is like definitely more young, learning his stride, but his war challenge, right, has spent decades fighting against the Phyrexians at this point. So I would pick Koth. I agree. Jaya Ballard is currently winning 67-33. So it looks like
winning 67, huh?
Yep. I don't think
Koth. People don't like Koth very much.
I don't think people hate Koth. I think people really like Jaya. I think they're leaning on Koth has only one card. Koth is like the number one character I wish we had more cards of, to be honest. Like,
have we ever had a second Koth?
No, there's only one. I'm like mad that he didn't get a core set. Like, there's so many Chandras in core sets. Like, one of them could have been Koth.
That is interesting. We'll go back at some point soon, probably, and then when we do, we'll announce probably, right? We're going back to Mirrodin soonish. That is announced.
No.
No? Well, I'm sure we'll go back soon, and when we do, I'm sure we'll get a sweep.
We have a bunch of sets that are pointing us towards going to New Phyrexia soon, right? Like, all of the stories of the next year kind of are like hinting at
and all that.
Yeah, of New Phyrexia is the next Nicol Bolas. It's going to be like a 5-year experience, but so that is the Walker Fight 2021 first round bracket. That's who's winning currently. By the time this is released, we should be past the second round and maybe in the middle of the third.
Wait, Oh, we're not doing the whole rest of the thing tonight?
No. That was it.
Oh, I thought you were trying to do every single matchup for each. I thought you were trying to do 64 and then 32 and then 16.
No.
I was looking at you and I was like, am I just insane? Am I missing something? I was like, this is going to take us until midnight.
No. We're done.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. The rest is for the public to decide. I'm going to quickly go over without us deciding who's going to win. And unless you want to like do quick off the note, no explanation why we think it, just you get to bet. I was going to go through the next round just to reconfirm what we're going to be looking at, and then we'll be done for the episode.
Yeah, you got it. Let's do it.
Here we go. All right. First battle, Nicol Bolas versus Garruk.
Nicol Bolas.
Okay. I think Garruk could win it. Sarkhan Vol Karn.
Karn.
Sorin Markov versus Angrath.
Sorin.
The Wanderer versus Nahiri.
Nahiri.
Liliana Vess versus Elspeth.
Elspeth.
Okay. All right. Chandra Nalaar versus Lord Windgrace.
Chandra.
That's a lot of burned hair. Kiora versus Jace.
Ooh. I think Jace.
Ashiok versus Jessica.
I don't know. What do you think on this one?
I think Ashiok could win this.
Okay.
It'll be an upset, but I think it could be a big upset. That's a possible upset. Ugin versus Narset.
Ugin.
Yep. Gideon versus Arlingcord.
Gideon.
Yep. Indestructible beats Werewolf. Vraska versus Tezzeret.
Wow, that's a tough one, actually. Mm-hmm. This is a pretty good one. I think Tezzeret. I think it's because Tezzeret fights with lots of metal things that don't care about the assassins.
Yeah. Okay. Like the death turning Tezzeret to stone doesn't matter because he's mostly metal anyways.
He's like a machine. Yep. He doesn't even need to look. He operates off of grids.
Yep. Ral Zarek versus Nissa Ravain.
Nissa.
Teferi versus I'm gonna say Ob Nixilis because that's currently who's winning.
I think Teferi. Teferi's a hero, a good hero. Ob Nixilis is, Killer Croc.
Some classic magic here. Sarah versus Tevishsat.
Ooh.
Angels versus demons. Demon dragons.
Sarah gets this one done. The angels are able to chop off the tentacles.
Yep. Freyalise versus Jaya Ballard. Yep. Like Lana War Elf Planeswalker versus fire.
It's getting roasted.
And then Kaya versus a Minotaur. Yep, I think that's correct. I think, all right, that's our predictions for then. We'll see what happens. Make sure if you guys are paying attention, just search the hashtag, let me get it correctly, hashtag WalkerFight 2021, and you'll see all of this content. It has like all the breakdowns of what's going on, what the current votes are. You can look at the brackets. There'll be hashtags going on for that, so you can see what all these kind of looked out at. It'll be going on all this week that you're listening to it, so the plan is for at the end, by the end of that week, we'll be in the middle of Gen Con. So it's a fun little game, and let us know what you think. Let us in the comments if you think we were crazy about one of the matchups, if we thought one would win, if you just totally disagree with who's voting. Remember to hit that like button, and make sure to check out our Patreon. It makes this podcast happen. You get the episode a week early. You could have gone this episode as the votes for the entire second round was going on if you were a patron, and that's access that you get there. Well, thank you so much. Click that TCG player link below. Helps the podcast. You don't have to pay for anything. It just remembers you clicked on it. And we do Commander streams every Monday night, so we'll be doing it tonight. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Talk to you guys next week.
This has been a production of Time Traveler Media, sending podcasts into the future.